Well, good evening and welcome to a special edition of the Principal's Office. I am Principal Edward Gordon. I am so glad you have tuned in for this broadcast as we interview educational stakeholders who have made a significant impact for themselves, for others, and with others in education. In the book, The 17 Indisputable Laws of Teamwork, written by Dr. John C. Maxwell, he talks about the law of significance. The law of significance states one is too small a number to achieve greatness. Teams of people working together are always capable of doing greater things than individuals working alone. This evening, I'm excited to bring on the show the Skyline Conference Division and postseason Skyline Conference tournament champions, the Bound Brook High School Boys Basketball Crusaders, with our head coach, Anthony Melcirgo, and assistants. Good evening, Coach Melcirgo and the team. Good evening.
Thanks for having us, Mr. Gordon. We appreciate it.
Very good. I'm so glad you have chosen to decide to come on the show this evening. So I would like to start off with a brief introduction of our guest today. Bound Brook High School, Bound Brook, New Jersey, boys basketball team is one of only 6 teams in New Jersey to finish undefeated with a record of 14-0. This group of young men are the first team in modern era of Bound Brook to go undefeated. They won the Skyline Conference Valley Division and won the postseason Skyline Conference tournament. One of their players, Junior Quadair Harrell, who was born and raised in Bound Brook, has already scored 1,000 points in his career. Over the past 2 years, the Bound Brook Boy Crusaders have accomplished 39 wins and only 5 losses. Head coach Anthony Melcirgo has been named this week by the Star Ledger, Courier News, and Central Jersey Talk Radio Coach of the Year. Once again, help me welcome Coach Melcirgo and the Bound Brook Crusaders to the show. Good evening, team.
Thank you.
So let's get started, Coach. And let's talk about, can you just share with the audience your journey as to becoming a coach and also your work in education?
Oh, thank you again for having us. Our guys are excited to be here, Mr. Gordon.
Mhm.
I've loved basketball my whole life. I obviously wasn't as good as these guys, so I decided to get into coaching. I was in college and I was a JV coach here for a year, and we were not really a good basketball team. We were actually on the midst of a 38-game losing streak when I was a JV coach, and the previous coach before me was told not to come back for the next year. So I think it was in November of that year that they asked me to be the coach, and Dr. Gallagher, who at the time was the athletic director, told me, you can't do much worse. Why don't you become the coach? So it was a challenging year for us the first few years, but really, I was really excited to get the job. And from, I would say, the second or third year on, our guys really improved a lot. There's kind of a really good culture in Bound Brook and excitement for Bound Brook basketball. I would say most of the time in the winter, everyone was really into Bound Brook wrestling, and there's a big change in that. And everyone likes wrestling, of course, but now Bound Brook basketball has become a real popular thing, not only in this town but in the area, in the state. Bound Brook basketball is really one of the best programs in New Jersey, and I just, it's nothing to do with me. It's really just our basketball players and it's the culture that we built. And obviously, I've been a teacher in the district for a long time as well, and it's really just about our guys. And these guys behind me, I've known them since they were kids. I've had them in my camps. Known them in their recreation, known them in elementary school, and it's just kind of a culture that we built over the years that we try to sustain every year.
Very good. So thank you, Coach Melcirgo, for sharing your story and your journey with the audience. And we're going to jump right in with the players. And any of them can come up to answer this question. But the first question I have is, what did it take to be one in 6 teams in New Jersey, finishing 14-0, and the first team in modern era of Bound Brook to go undefeated? So for any of the players that want to jump in to answer that question.
I'm quite here, just letting you know. It took a lot of dedication, but we love basketball, so we we and even last year, like we were a good team last year, and we were confident that if we play well and play together, that the next season we could be pretty successful. And just work hard. Shout out to the coaches, Lazicki over here,
Mhm.
Sergo. They got great game plans. They really set us up to win and play well, and then we just play together because we love each other, and that's just what we do.
Very good. Thank you. Thank you very much, Claudia. Hard work and working together as a team is great. Coach Lazicki, you can come to the mic at this time.
How's it going, Mr. Gordon?
How are you doing? Good evening, Coach. Can you just tell the audience a little bit about yourself and how you came about coming to be an assistant coach here with the Bound Boys Crusaders before we get started?
Definitely. And first off, I want to thank you for having us. Thanks for giving us another opportunity to get together.
Mm-hmm.
I started 6 years ago. I got linked up with Anthony. I started off as a volunteer. Second year, I was able to become the JV coach. And it's been a wonderful journey just in 6 years. And especially with these guys back here, I've known these guys since they were like 7th, 8th graders. Been working with them in the summertime, a lot of workouts and stuff like that. And just to see their growth and maturity and what they've been able to accomplish this year, it's been excellent.
Very good. Very good. Thank you for sharing. And I'm just going to stay with you with another question. It doesn't happen overnight that you develop a championship team. And I know for you as a JV coach and some other things that are happening within the community of Bound Brook, can you just tell us more about what you have observed and the work that you've been doing in terms of even like the recreation department in Bound Brook and how they have been working together with the middle school and the high school programs to really develop the players to be able to have this varsity team that is undefeated?
Well, as someone who doesn't live in Bound Brook, I'll say every time I drive by that the park in the summer, I always see these guys and younger guys out there playing. And the rec center, whenever it's open to these guys, there's always a bunch of kids in there shooting hoops and playing. So I think the rec center does a great job. I know I see kids out there swimming too. We do a middle school night every year, which I think is great. I think it's good for the middle school players, to see what they're going to be walking into the next year and to see the energy and excitement in the gym. We always, like any of our summer workouts, we let middle school kids, anybody who wants to come. I think we've even had like 5th and 6th graders come in. They come and get right in with the high school guys. And I think that's good for them to build those relationships, just like these guys did with the guys who came before them. And like I said, they get that, get their foot in the door a little bit.
Very good, very good. And I'm glad to hear the opportunities that are happening for the athletes at the younger levels in Bound Brook, the recreation programs that you have leading up through middle school and also high school to be able to establish and continuously develop this very competitive program right now in Bound Brook. So thank you very much, Coach Lazicki, for being here this evening and be able to share more about you as well as the work that you're doing with the Crusaders. So thank you very much.
Thanks again for having us, Mr. Gordon.
You're very welcome. So I'm going to turn it back to you as the players. As a team, you had some big wins this year against Immaculata and also Linden. What was the mindset you needed to have going into the game and also during?
How you doing, Mr. Gordon? I'll
How
answer
you
this
doing?
one. Good. Last year we were trying to, before the pandemic, we had a lot of big games planned ahead, local teams like Somerville, Middlesex. But then when we got the new roster, when we were in the like quarantine and stuff, we saw that we played like Linden and stuff, and we knew, us personally, we knew that we could compete obviously with those teams. A lot of people had doubt in us because we're not like a big school, and but I think beating like Linden, a Group 4 team, and Immaculata, who plays good players, and beating them, I think that put Bamberg on the map a little bit, and it woke some towns up that we could compete with the best in the state.
Yes, well, you definitely have proven that you can compete with the best, and having that right mindset despite the fact that people might think some things about Bound Brook and the program, you go out there and do your best every game and work hard, and the results have definitely shown. So thank you very much for sharing with the audience in terms of that mindset. You definitely need to play at the level that you guys have been playing all season in the future. So I wish you definitely the best as you continue on your journey as a player.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So let's continue. I'm gonna bring back Junior Quadera Harrell. You can come back up for a minute.
Hello.
Okay, and just hearing more. Born and raised in Bound Brook, you've broken points, 1,000 points already, and you're headed for a school record. Can you just share with the audience what it takes to play at the level you are playing now?
Just more of the same thing as like obviously I have a great team and coaches, of course. They give me shots, they give me open, they support me, they want me to hit 1,000 points and stuff like that and get all the accolades. But just a lot of hard work and like really dedication to the game, loving the game, and you got to go through some adversity and being able to get through those tough times to get through those times and just work hard. That's really it, honestly.
Okay. And thank you, Quadair. And we'll definitely continue to be looking for you, the work that you're going to do and breaking that record next season. So
Thank you.
we're looking for that. All right. And what Quadair just mentioned about working hard and also going through some adversity. So this is a question that we're going to pose for any members of the team. Winning the Skyline Conference Valley Division and then the postseason Skyline Tournament was not easy due to some challenges off of the court. As a country, we are and have been continuously deal with social justice issues and this COVID-19 pandemic. So I just ask for any one of the team members, what are some of the lessons learned during this time off the court that has just been beneficial for you as you continuously develop as young men?
I'll answer this one again.
Okay.
During the pandemic and being in quarantine and stuff, most of us stayed in contact. And then when the weather started to get a little warmer, we tried to get together a little bit. Definitely at the parks and stuff, training, just working out, getting shots up. Early morning, staying to like nighttime playing games. And when we'd have meetings, coach would set up like Zoom meetings to all like stay together and stuff, still communicate. And that still like kept us close together because I know I know us, we did it, but I don't know like other teams, and I feel like that's what separated us. We all grew up together. We all like stayed in contact like individually, and we all knew that we couldn't take this season for granted. So every time that we'd step on the court, our mindset was to win, whether we were down in the quarter. That happened many times, but coach always brought us together, and like on the court, we would talk to each other and just say like, stay focused. And we never doubted that we were going to lose the game. We just stayed together and played to that last buzzer. And I'm grateful that we went 14-0. And every time that we were down, we kept our heads up and just stayed together as a team.
Very good, very good. So what I heard from what you said, for any effective team, communication is key. And of course, you're communicating on the court, but also off the court, checking in on each other, seeing how everyone's doing, checking people's each other's mindsets. And also, you mentioned, yes, you can have practices with the coach and organized practice, but what are we doing when the coach is not around? When are we playing off the court and continue to practicing our skills individually and come together as a team, unorganized practices, so that we can definitely have that competitive edge to beat the top team. So I appreciate you expressing that with the audience and sharing that, and has definitely paid off for you as well as the team for this season. So thank you very much for sharing that.
You're welcome.
All right. So let's continue. Coach Melsarko, you can come back up for a minute. So we mentioned about right now all the recent accomplishments and accolades based on Star Ledger, Courier News, and Central Jersey Talk Radio. Just want you to be able to share with the audience. Again, before all that, congratulations for your success. just want to ask, how does one get to this level in coaching?
First off, good players. Because if I didn't have these guys behind me, no one gets awards like that. And that's why I'm really like, when I say, I was humbled, I got a lot of awards these past couple of weeks. And I really have done nothing, nor coach. We've done nothing these last few years different. It's just we have good players. And you've heard these guys speak already. And they're really good kids. And that's what helps a lot. When you have good kids who listen, good kids who every guy who's spoken already today has talked about, my teammates, my coaches, this guy. That's how we're successful. And I think that's the thing that I'm most proud of this year's team and even previous teams is we really believe in each other. We really are willing to look past individual goals for team stuff. And I think that's a really important thing in high school sports. And sometimes a lot of teams, and we even play some of those teams, you can actually see down the floor where a lot of teams don't really have that kind of goal. And we always have goals every year about winning a state championship, winning a sectional championship. And a lot of our times, a lot of our guys are willing to give up some of those personal accolades to get to that level. And, because of our success this year, I like you mentioned, I got a lot of those coaches awards. And a coach's award is only as good as how well his players and his assistant coaches respond to you. And these guys have done, nothing short of everything I've asked. And especially, I want to add, in a year like this, this was not an easy year for these guys. They've had to endure in the past year the pandemic, which was so difficult for all these guys. And I know they try to downplay it, but they missed they missed their junior prom. They missed all the fun things that they could have enjoyed. They missed going out with their friends. They missed going to the beach. They missed doing all those things. They missed summer leagues. They missed all that stuff. And then, they've had personal tragedy that we didn't even get into. They lost loved ones. They've lost friends with loved ones. And then the social injustice stuff came out of nowhere, where you had the pandemic and you had that. So I'm really proud of them for what they had to endure. And then through all that, they got to play basketball and they were successful in that too. So as a coach, to get these awards this week was more a reflection of what they did than me. And that's how I look at it. It's a reward for them, not for me.
Very good. Very much, Coach, for sharing that with the audience. Again, congratulations.
Thank you.
At this time, let's bring up some of the freshmen and sophomores. And the question I have is for freshmen and sophomore players, what lessons have you learned from your juniors and seniors?
How you doing?
How are you doing?
So me personally, I've learned that to not to give up since my brother had a lot of injuries his freshman and sophomore year. He couldn't play. So that made me actually go harder because that can happen to me. You don't know what could happen. And he almost didn't play this year due to COVID, but gratefully he could play this year and we had a great season. But knowing me, I wouldn't been through him this whole time and stuff. So seeing him go, knowing he couldn't play, then he could play and having a great season. It just made me it made me happy. So I was happy for that.
Very good. Keep going. All right. Thank you.
I learned a lot of things from the seniors, especially coming as a freshman. I learned to go through adversity because this is my first year coming here as a freshman. I'm not really used to things like this, especially around COVID. So I always wanted to come in, work harder, especially learn things from them, so I can come in next year, become a better player, stuff like that.
All right. Well, thank you very much.
Some lessons that I learned. I'm good. How are you?
All right.
Some lessons that I learned from my fellow teammates, especially Davey McClarty, how to lead a team and not keep your lose your head. Always gotta keep your head up. When he's playing bad, he's always bringing others up, playing his best. That's about it.
Okay. Having that mindset, bringing the team together. Thank you very much. So let's bring back our seniors that are here.
There you go.
Yes. How are you doing? So the question I have for you as senior players is, what legacy would you like to leave to the underclassmen and also for the future of the future Bound Brook team? So again, what legacy would you like to leave for the underclassmen and also for the future of Bound Brook boys basketball?
I'll go first. With me personally, um, I like in the future I want to come back and speak to like the like 5, 10 years down the road. I want to come back and talk to the team, and tell them like what me personally been through, with like personal issues, injuries, medical issues. But I just want to definitely come back and like tell them my story and to hopefully connect with any players going through what I went through, and to definitely never ever give up, because anybody can go through anything, a lot of adversity. Everybody has their own problems, but um, just to keep faith and to never give up. I just want to let younger players know that definitely come back down the road, and give my motivational speeches.
Very good. And I'm gonna stay right with you. What are your plans for next year?
Definitely play college basketball. Um, Probably, hopefully, like study nutrition and stuff like that. Because down the road, I want to be like a personal trainer and stuff like that. So, definitely play college basketball. And stay connected with Bound and the team.
Very good. Thank you very much for sharing. So I'm
Yeah.
gonna ask you the same question. What is the legacy that you would like to leave for the underclassmen and also for Bound Brook basketball teams in the future?
Yeah, along the lines of what Dan said, I want to always be in touch and come back. Throughout my 4 years, we've always had like alumni come to our practices, and like seeing that's cool. So I want to be able to do that in the future.
Very good. And what is your plans for next year?
Right now, it's to play college basketball. Trying to find the right fit right now.
Okay. Very, very good. Well, thank you both for seniors for being on the show today and also being that role model and leaders for the other team members. So best wishes as you finish off this senior year and also in the future, your college level. So thank you again for being on the show today. All right. Coach Melisergo. So as we close out this time together, and again, this is going to be broadcast, and there's going to be young athletes that are on the basketball court in different communities. You're going to have some teachers that are looking to want to be coaches in their local districts. There's other athletic directors, there's principals, superintendents that are listening to the show and this broadcast. For you as Coach Anthony Melisergo, what is one piece of advice or words of wisdom you would like to share with the audience about achieving greatness and also about being the best person that they can be?
Well, I love basketball because I think it's a great metaphor for life and a great metaphor for school also. I think a lot of these guys need basketball as a way to kind of motivate them sometimes. So I think for me, as a basketball coach, I think basketball and school kind of go hand in hand for some of these guys. And I think they need it. And I think, sometimes we kind of get lost in the, school sports. I think being a student athlete is so important. I think the more kids are playing and doing stuff, I think is so important for them. And I think looking at these guys in the back here, they've been so successful in the classroom and in sports. And they have a lot of these guys have a path and an avenue now to go to college because of sports and because of school. And I think that's really important for them. Our team GPA was very high this year. Those guys that just mentioned they can go to college. I mean, basically everyone behind me is probably going to end up going to play college basketball. And I'm proud of that. You asked me early in the interview, what have we done as a program I'm most proud of is a lot of our guys end up going to school. And I think that's really what basketball has meant to our guys. It's a great motivation to keep working hard in school, to keep striving. And I think for people that are getting into the profession, or people that are superintendents or principals or teachers, I think they have to understand how important basketball and school is to these guys. And it's I think it's a good form of motivation to keep them going sometimes.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much, and it was a pleasure interviewing you, as well as Coach Lazicki, as well as all the players. Definitely, what you have been doing as a coach, as well as the teachers, a superintendent, Dr. Gallagher, and administration, and Boundbrook has been doing an excellent job as a community. And I'm glad at the opportunity to bring you, as well as the team, on the show to be able to celebrate your success. And once again, I just wish all of you the best as you continue this year, and as well as you go into next year. Okay.
Thank you very much.
All right. All right. So I want to say again, thank you all for being on the show today, and thank you, Coach Mel Sergo and the Boundbrook team, for modeling excellence for your community. And for everyone that is tuned in to the principal's office, join me every Friday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for another episode with an amazing educator that has done things significantly for themselves, for others, and with others. Have a great evening. See you all soon.